Hey, welcome to slope video number 2. Today we're going to talk about the steepness of the slope, so make sure your name is on this note page, sorry. And we're going to try a couple of lines. It says graph 4 different lines, all with different negative slopes. Show each slope and compare steepness. So let's just try to, we'll put a point here. Okay. And let's put a point, let's see, one. Oh yeah, right here. Now remember, it's a negative slope because as I move to the right, the line goes down. So it's moving down to the right. I'm going to make this a red line. I'm going to try to make this a straight line as much as I possibly can. Good luck with that is what you're thinking. Oh, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so that's our first line. And I want to put arrows on the ends because we don't know where the line ends. And I want you to remember from yesterday's notes, we went down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and over 1. So our slope here is -8. Make sure you write that down. Let's try another one. Let's try this point here, and we'll go to this point right here. I'm going to get my line ready. If you can connect yours and make it nice and straight, that would be very good. Okay, I'm going to start here and go through both of the points. It's not perfect by any means, but it's not bad. Always, again, draw your arrows. Always the arrows. We're going to learn more about slope equations, but for today we're just talking about what the slope means and the steepness of it. Now in this slope we went down 1 over 2, so our slope here is -1/2. If you were to look at these two, if I was skiing down this slope right here, I'd be going super fast. It's very steep. I would probably lose control and crash, let's be honest. If I was skiing down this slope, not too bad. I'm going to be going fast, but it's not terrible. Or I could also have a slope that looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's put a straight line through there. Okay. That's really getting kind of, it's almost flat, right? So in this slope, I'd probably be traveling at a very slow pace. If you remember, rise over run, which means we count the up and down first. So I go down 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My slope is -1/5. All right, should we make one that's, let's see. Let's go from here. Let's go down 3 over 2. Seems good. And my straight line. Okay, and my arrows. Now remember we counted down 3, 1, 2, 3, so it's a -3 on top and 2 across, so it's -3/2. This one is steeper than the other two fractions because of course it's a bigger fraction. I mean, it's a fraction more than 1, but it's still not super steep like our -8. I'm going to scroll down, so make sure you have these before I clear the screen. And I want you to remember this. Slopes will be represented with fractions with a greater absolute value. So in other words, if you noticed back at our slopes, the numbers with the greatest absolute value are the steepest. So the greater the number in slope, the greater the absolute value anyway, the greater the steepness is. So once you have this, we're going to move on down again, and I have a video for you to watch before we do much else. In this video, we're going to talk about different kinds of slopes. So let me scroll down. Okay, it says sketch a sample or a few of each type of slope. Add a skier if you want. It may help you to remember the direction and whether the values are increasing or decreasing. So before we fill this in, even though I bet you could probably think of it yourself, I have a cute little video for you to help remember what positive, negative, zero, and undefined slopes are. Mrs. Gandro showed us this video and we thought it would be perfect. Here we go. And we're back to our notes. Now let's see what you remember. Sketch it. Positive slope. Do you remember what it was? It was this line that goes up to the right. Puff, puff, positive. And it's a plus. Do you remember the negative goes down to the right? Nice, negative. Actually, let's write puff, puff. Oh, I can't write now. I'll come back to that. If you can, write puff, puff, and then nice so you can remember. A zero slope is zero fun. It's just flat. Blah. If you've ever skied and you had to ski across a flat slope, it's just plain boring and a lot of work. Zero fun. And undefined, let's be honest, if you ever skied down this, you probably wouldn't have made it down to the bottom in one piece. It's undefined. Okay, we're going back and I'm going to fill this in real quick with you. Remember, this is nice. This is puff puff. And I'm only telling you this so that you can remember, because sometimes we forget. Zero is zero fun, no fun. Zero fun. And undefined is, curse word. Okay. Last thing we need to do is remember what we said. The largest absolute values have the steepest slope. So out of these four numbers, we are looking for the largest number. And in this case, it's 3. So our steepest slope out of these four is 3. Okay, we've used that one. The next slope that's still over the number 1, bigger than 1, is 3/2. So that's our next. Our next largest fraction, less than 1, is 3/4. Because remember, the top number is smaller than the bottom, or the denominator, and our least steep is 1/3. Make sure you have these. There's practice problems on the back.